The chanting started 24 hours before Sarah Palin even arrived here in Grand Rapids. These people were first in line.
We're freaking out. Yeah, she's my hero.
Hours later, the line ballooned to more than 1,000, some driving hours for a chance to see the woman they call Sarah.
I just think she represents the average American woman.
And I believe that the Spirit of God that dwells in that woman, I believe that that's what makes her different.
I noticed that you have Trig with you a little bit, right?
Yes.
But before the big book signing, Palin spoke with CBN News over at Zondervan Publishing, the Christian press company promoting her book. So far, the media has focused on the juicy campaign tidbits contained in Going Rogue. But inside, you can't go more than a few pages without reading about God's influence in her life. Whether it be her miscarriage, her Down syndrome son, or praying with little daughter Piper before the vice presidential debate.
How in the world would I sum up my life except to say, God, I have, at the end of the day, really nothing but my faith, my reliance on you, Lord, and I wanted to articulate that.
She writes about giving her life to the Lord as a little 6-year-old girl at Bible camp in Alaska.
Knowing even back then that it is a step that one can take to show the rest of the world that I'm not shy about this. I am going to let the world know that this is my foundation and this is my reliance is going to be on my faith in God.
A firm proclamation found throughout this book that actually ends with Palin asking people to invite God into their lives.
My very last paragraph there sums it up and invites people, encourages people to do what I did, and that's put their life in God's hands, our Creator, who knows probably better than we know what the perfect path is for a person. So God being so extremely important, my faith is, to my life, I wasn't going to be hesitant at all to let people know what I believe.
It's that tell it like it is talk that has her fans going gaga. After our interview with baby Trig in hand, she was mobbed by Zondervan employees. Such is life for this big fish from Alaska. Going Rogue with Sarah is the theme of the bus tour, and as a matter of fact, that's the exact sign on the bus. As a matter of fact, they have a moose on the front of the bus, an actual picture of a moose. Where are you ever going to see that? While Palin can do no wrong with her supporters, the polls show she has some work to do if she wants to run for president. She has a 43% favorability rating. 53% wouldn't vote for her for president, and 60% say she's just not qualified. When you see polls like that, what is your reaction? What do you make of those polls?
I think, well, if I read and believed everything that's been written about me too, I'd say the same thing. That's why I want people to read my book, so they can read unfiltered what my values are, what my record is, what my accomplishments are.
The Associated Press devoted an 11-member team to fact-check Palin's book and claims it is filled with some untruths and embellishments. Nevertheless, it's already a bestseller. For Palin, this tour is a chance to redefine herself in key political venues like Fort Wayne, Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, Roanoke, Virginia, Fort Bragg in North Carolina, and the retirement villages near Orlando, Florida.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Palin knows whatever road she eventually takes will present challenges, such as being part of a group of politicians held to a double standard.
But I do absolutely notice that some of the conservative Christians who are members of Congress or serving in state legislatures, yeah, it seems like certainly the leftist media treats them a little bit different. There are some double standards. It gets kind of frustrating, but at the same time, I think it makes us work harder. I think it forces us to be clearer and more articulate in what our positions are.
And it also forces her to pray for her enemies, like the people who spread nasty rumors about her family during the campaign.
My mama's heart breaks when the kids are attacked. So it is through a lot of prayer and a lot of reliance on prayer warriors all across our country, though, praying God's hand of protection over my kids. These are political pot shots. I remind my kids, these are probably some lonely people, some shallow people who want to take a shot like that, and we need to pray for these people, for one, and we also need to keep things in perspective.
And speaking of perspective, it is Palin's view that life is not a bunch of coincidences. Rather, It is all God ordained. Palin wants readers to seek after God.
Give it a shot. Put your life in God's hands and see what He's going to do for you. And He will reveal for you, too, these providential happenings throughout your life that surely cannot be coincidences.
You realize when you say things like that, the liberal media, people within the liberal media, I mean, they're going to blow a gasket.
Okay, this is what's going to happen too. CBN, you guys are going to be Googled all over the place.
Oh, goodness gracious.
The liberal media will take things out of context. So, you know, let's just kind of acknowledge what's going to happen here. Their heads are going to be spinning, and you know, so be it though. Let's get some truth out there. Let's get some candid talk about a person's faith. That's part of what I'm all about, and I don't hesitate to let people know where I am on it.
And that may be the understatement of the year. The shackles of 2008 are off. Sarah Palin on tour and unplugged. And it's standing room only. David Brody, CBN News, in Grand Rapids, Michigan.